exciting. So leaving COVID aside for a moment, what would you say are like the 3 biggest challenges to running a martial arts school?
All right. I thought these were supposed to be easy questions. Okay, COVID aside, right?
Yeah, COVID aside.
Let's see. Different people want different things from the martial arts, right? One parent might want their kid like, oh, they're crying all the time. I want you to be tough. I want you to yell at them.
Okay.
If they forget their belt, I want you to take it away. And the next person might say, my son, just doesn't have the self-confidence. If he doesn't pass, could he still get the belt?
Right. Okay.
And then the next person might want their kid to be like this fighter and go hard as you can. And the next person's like, oh, they're going to be scared. They have to spar. They don't have to spar, do they? Do they have to put equipment on?
Okay.
So you want to run classes that are, exciting, involved, dynamic, where they're learning, but you have to take into account all the different personalities and communicate that. So the huge thing is communication, explaining. We can do this for everyone, but this is how we're going to do it.
Okay.
We can get those benefits, but you have to trust us, and it's going to take a while. So we build their trust. They trust us that we're going to do what's right for each person, but it doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
Right.
And part of it is having a plan for them. We have a written curriculum that will bring people up, and we've done videos, and it brings them up from this is what you need to complete to progress forward. So as they learn and they develop their skills, they naturally progress forward. Okay. And it's about seeing the successes. Okay. But at the same time, we let the kids fail so that they learn from it.
Right.
Okay. And then we bring them along and say, okay, you didn't go maybe out of the 5 subjects, they missed something on 1 or 2 of the subjects. We'll go back, we'll work with them on those subjects to help them get it down so that and we look at a student as about 80% or better proficient when they're going up through the beginner ranks. Okay, so we want to make sure that they're getting it, but we understand everybody's going to make some mistakes. With the demonstration on thing, we watch the policemen make mistakes on those, on some of those different videos. So it's one of the things that we want to make sure everybody is getting better or responding appropriately at things that they're supposed to be responding to.
Because making a mistake is a learning moment, right? You figure out what you did wrong or what you need to do better, right?
Exactly.
So if you don't make mistakes, you're not going to really learn or understand why you did things wrong. So how about, I talk to different people who run different schools, and student retention is often an issue. And I understand that, people want different things, but just keeping kids involved, do you find as they get older, they kind of lose or have other interests, so they lose interest here, or that's...
We'll each take a chance.
Okay.
Let's each take...
All right. Should I go first or should you?
You can go first.
All right. Kind of depends on the child. There's some kids that are, you might have a really athletic kid, and they're doing fantastic. But naturally, they want to try some other sports and activities. Some kids can handle in high school their AP classes and take soccer or football and taekwondo, and they might help on your instructing too.
Yeah.
But other kids cannot handle that workload. So you've got some kids that can do it all, but some kids that cannot, and some will choose, to do the taekwondo like they've been doing, or they might say, well, when I'm busy in this sport, I'll be out for a little while and they'll be back.
Okay.
So some will do that. So we do have some wonderful success stories of people who have started with us 4 and 5 years old, and we've gone to their weddings and then their baby shower, and they're talking about their kids are going to come to us. So we've got some awesome, very satisfying, great relationships and people that have grown up to be doctors and special agents, and and just make us so proud. Nuclear physicists, all kinds of things. Yeah. But you are gonna lose some students, I think because we've done this for a long time, we do have a pretty good feel for what works and how to help people through their humps. A lot of times, naturally, at a certain belt, some people, they want to stop. It becomes difficult. We know how to get them through it, and we say, trust us. We can do this. We'll work with us.
Okay.
We can give us a chance, and we can explain to them, come in and talk. We can work it out. But, you know, you want to take over. You want to start talking. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So part of that whole concept is setting goals.
Okay.
Okay. Having them set goals. So like I said earlier, we do have a plan for them through the curriculum and stuff. But where a lot of people in years ago, because of the way people were taught martial arts, is like you get your black belt, and people felt the black belt was the end all.
Right.
Okay. It's just another step. Okay. So we took away that concept of getting your black belt is the end of the trip. We get it that it's the beginning of the trip, and the Korean concept where some people say, oh, it takes 10 years to get your black belt. Okay. And there are certain styles that say that.
Yeah.
The Korean philosophy behind that is that, well, getting your black belt just means you learn the basics. Okay, now that you've learned the basics, now you're ready to be a student. So now we're going to start implementing these things. We're going to apply your basics into this different aspects of your training, so you learn to respond appropriately, so you learn to become faster, and you know, to help build it that way.
Right.
Okay. The other part of it is you would get your black belt, and then the master would say, okay, see you in a couple of years when you're ready to test for your second degree. Or see you in a few years when you test for your third. And it's like, and a lot of like when I was coming up, okay, a black belt show up at the school. Well, a lot of schools didn't have a lot of black belts. So that person always taught where the teacher sat in the...
Right.
Okay, so there are a million stories out there like that.
Yes.
Where what we decided to do was start putting steps in between to give goals. We constantly kept teaching our black belts that just because you have black belt, you're not the instructor now.
Right.
You could stay a student. We're going to keep giving you curriculum to learn, but we're going to keep testing you on that curriculum. So our students keep testing in between their ranks.
Okay.
At a number of different tests. So they might be a first degree white belt, or a deputy degree white belt. They might be a second degree white belt.
Okay.
Okay, a third degree yellow belt or orange belt, and we just bring them through because we have a plan. Because the goal isn't to get them to just be a black belt. Right. The goal is to make them a master in the martial arts. So we keep giving them the curriculum that they can keep learning, because they keep saying, and I see this, martial arts is a lifetime of learning.
Yeah.
So we keep looking and building. There's stuff I still constantly look at and reevaluate and readjust and things like that. So it's all part of it. This is why it's important that we keep that. And we went from that handful of black belts in the school back when, see you in a couple years, to, okay, we're going to see in a couple months when you're going to take your first phase test. Okay. And then they go through these phases. All of a sudden, we went from 5 or 10 black belts in the school to 60 to 80 black belts in the school. Okay. At different points. Right now, we don't have that many because of COVID, but but we kept a lot of our black belt students, and they keep going up. And so we have, Mrs. Wood is the senior student in the school. She's been with me the longest. As long as she keeps it. Okay. But we have others who are getting ready to test for their 7th degrees, 6th degrees, 5th degrees. So we have those masters and people getting up into the grandmaster levels because they've been around.
Right. And they're staying here and they're continuing to learn.
I think an advantage we have is that we've been doing it for a long time, and we've seen so many. We get a lot of students in through the Park District and from satellite locations. Okay. We've worked with a lot of special needs kids. You get your Bruce Lee type kids. You have the kids that need more
Yeah,
help.
and that's one of the other points I wanted to bring up.
We've worked with so many, and adults too, teens. You kind of get a feel, and so sometimes when parents think, oh, it's not the best for them, or they think maybe, maybe they should be learning this quicker, it's like we've experienced a lot.
Right.
And we kind of know the way to maybe motivate and help them and challenge them and, kind of overcome any, challenges they might have. And not the idea that, like you were saying, the black belt was the end game, but you don't graduate from college and think
you're done,
everything,
right?
It's just this beginning and everything.
And the biggest thing I put, and I talk to all the parents, when I have, when the kids first start up and they take the classes after they take a handful of classes, I have a parent-teacher conference with them. So we're constantly keeping in contact with the parents. But the one thing that I see that really helps out is you have your gifted students. They could be gifted educationally or gifted physically. They can do it, they can pick it up really fast. Well, the challenge with a gifted student is that they do not understand how to either improve their skill or how they got the answer. So what we're trying to do, or what we're working a lot with the kids on, is how to become learned students. So that they understand how to break something apart and build it back together. And that helps them with the response, with the confidence, with everything like that. So because as they go up through the levels, before their head grows too big, we're going to give them that special pin to knock that get that balloon back down. It's called responsibility. So as they go up, we give them a little more responsibility. And part of it is that learning how to learn process.
Were you expecting another short answer to that
No,
one?
no. That's all. I mean, it's all good. It just makes me think too that, as during my own experience, you learn things, and then you try to teach them to other people, and then you realize how much you don't know, because people will ask you then, well, why do I do this? Or why do you do that? And then you got to think about it. You're like, I don't really know. It's just why I learned it. And that's not a good answer, right?
Oh, yes.
And then you learn more about it, because now once you're able to explain to people why and how you do things, you learn how to do it better yourself. Right?
Oh, that's so true, because unfortunately, I think the martial arts is filled with a lot of people that are so traditional minded. The only answer is because I had to do it, so you have to do it.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
a terrible
really,
answer.
I know. That kills me, because it's like, it's not about you. It's about what's the best current way to do it. So you do, even though we've been doing this a long time, we're all, always open to new ideas, new curriculum, new ways, keep growing and expanding.
Because we have to show it in multiple ways. It's like we have had to become very creative to be able to teach in an atmosphere of within COVID, so that they're learning their skills, but they're being safe at the same time from outside of putting us all in hazmat suits when we're going to teach.
Yes.
We've had to become creative on how we're teaching these, especially being on Zoom or being on, you have to come up with different ways to communicate.
Sure. Flexibility, right? It's key in everything, teaching and being able to adapt, whether it's in a fight or in a situation, or how you teach people remotely in an effective way and keep kids engaged. Particularly the younger kids have to be a little harder. It's hard enough keeping, I would think, kids engaged when they're here, let alone when they're at home, right? So.
Yeah, and again, if you're open to doing new things, you can do it. You just have to,
Good question. So the reason, kind of changing tact here. So when I came to the school, is because I was searching for Hopkido specifically, right? So I had been looking for a long time for a school that had a separate Hopkido class, and most of them don't. They always kind of integrated into Taekwondo. So they're like, well, we teach Hopkido, but you got to learn Taekwondo. And I don't have anything against Taekwondo. It's just not what I wanted to learn. I wanted the Hopkido aspect specifically, because I like the joint locks and controls. So why is it that you have a separate class when so many others don't?
Well, we also incorporate Hopkido into a lot of our Taekwondo. Okay. Because the way we approach it is through looking at scenarios of attacks. Rather than saying technique number 1 through 100, we look at the idea of this is going to be a defense against a pushing attack, or somebody is going to be hitting down with a stick, or somebody is going to be kicking at you, or grabbing you, or whatever. And we're teaching fundamental ways to release from these at that point. The Hopkido program came about by people like you who wanted more. They wanted to delve a little deeper, like Master O'Hara. He wanted to delve deeper into what is going on with the joint locks, or what is going on. How do we manipulate the pressure points? How do we control somebody, or so that's how it came about. So we
so kind of like at the same time we would teach the Hopkido, we teach the sparring class separately for people who really wanted to do the sparring and improve their sparring skills. So same type thing.
Yeah, so, and that's how the sparring class came about. People wanted to work on more sparring, so it became its own class, so that those were the people that were developed to go into competition. Okay. Although a lot of our people didn't necessarily.
Yeah, they don't necessarily.
They
but
don't necessarily want
they like the sparring.
They like the workout.
The workout, right? Because it is a good workout, sparring. So.
But the Hopkido was the same thing. It started out one, and then it just grew from there.
Oh, well, it's great. I'm very happy about it because I've enjoyed the class immensely. And like I said, I'm looking forward to when we can come back and start having that contact again, which is it's very hard to do Hopkido in the air by yourself. So
we haven't talked to the state yet about hazmat suits. So if we can do hazmat suits, that might.
I guess you could do it that way, right? No chance of getting COVID that way. So, well, at this point, I guess if there's anything people are watching or see this video or interested in learning more about your school or the classes or anything that you have to offer, what would you suggest that they do to find out more about you?
Okay. Well, one thing is we have our website, which is palatinemartialarts.com or jpwoodmartialarts.com. They could go to that, and
you guys on Facebook?
We are on Facebook.
We have an open and a closed group, so yeah.
Okay, and they could look at us and then give us a call. We're here 6-7 days a week, so they could call us up during the day. We run our classes every evening. We were running classes 7 days a week. Right now, we're down to 6 days a week.
Okay.
But during this time, a little bit smaller classes. Well, right now, it's about where you could have the instruction as one-on-one instruction.
Okay.
During Tier 3 mitigation. But as soon as we're out of our Tier 3 mitigation, we're still going to be reduced sizes, according to what the state's going to allow. But we'll be able to get back to group classes as soon as our positivity rate
is down. Yes.
Okay.
She knows how to say that much better than I.
Well, you're clearly following the regulations, so congratulations on that. It's tough because it does change so much, but it's a difficult time.
It's given us some fun things. We did a challenge back this spring and late spring, and we divided the school in 2 teams. It was Team Cobra Kai and Team Miyagi. And they faced off, and you kind of earn points for taking classes and making up an obstacle course and watching martial arts movies and all kinds of things. And it was so close. It was incredible. We did a creativity challenge.
Wow.
It was just, we did a creativity challenge just recently where everyone could make up a form, or they could do a drawing. They could create a song, some music lyrics. They could do anything they want, creativity, any kind of art project. And we had a lot of cool things with that. So we've been having some fun with it,
Well, makes us think a little bit, keeps us busy.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds like you guys keep very busy. So
it's challenging, but it's fun. I mean, I still remember the first day I put in a uniform on and walked onto the floor. It was like I just had it on. I kind of looked around. I started laughing. I said, I'm going to do this the rest of my life. So, and I love company.
Well, it certainly seems like a good way to earn a living and change people's lives and stay in shape, and it's a lot of benefits for yourselves and for everyone else.
It is kind of nice that we get to exercise for our job. That's a nice benefit.
You help keep in shape.
It's one of these things where we're happy with the fact that we were able to raise a family of you know, have a family of 5, put our kids through college, be successful at what we're doing, you know, work ourselves up in our industry, and you know, and then give back, you know, give back to the community a lot.
Well, it seems, and right now you guys are doing a food drive, as I see over there, right? Collecting
Doing a
food.
food drive. We just we were collecting holiday bucks for. We raised almost $700. We just turned that in this last week.
Okay.
To buy Thanksgiving dinners, but yeah, we try to do different seminars. You know, we're in the parades and do this. I don't know, different whatever. Oh, we have a team for the Relay for Life each year.
Oh, okay.
So why can't I think of our logo for that? I can't think what it is, what our tagline is for that, but we have a team.
Well, clearly
Kicking
you guys
out
are,
cancer, that's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are very involved in the community, clearly. So you've been around a long time. So I'm sure the community appreciates that and gets your message out there, and you meet more people. So that's excellent. Well, thank you very much, both of you, for your time. I really appreciate you talking to me and telling me about the school and yourselves. So.
Well, thank you very much for having us.
Yes, that's awesome. Thank you very much.
All right, well, that's going to be it for us now. For more about Best Defense Concepts, you can visit our website at bestdefenseconcepts.com. We also have some videos on YouTube, and we're also on Facebook, so you can find more about our seminars and classes. So feel free to visit, and until then, stay safe, train hard, fight dirty.